Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome to your Friday video. I have winners from last night, Thursday night, May 20th at the RBC. Winning overall was Vladimir Stemkovsky. It's a great job for Vladimir. In second place, I believe, were Chris and Al Brandt. The reason I bring special attention to them is they had a game that finished ninth out of 167 pairs in the common game, even though it was actually like 5% below Vladimir's game at the RBC. So that's kind of I guess it speaks to the amount of noise that's involved in a particular score, even in a 10 table game. So basically at the RBC, they had a 57, and then that's a 10 table comparison. And then when you made it a comparison over 150 tables, their score shot all the way up to 62.5%. So the concept of there being any precision whatsoever in like one night of scores in a bridge game it's pretty much garbage. Okay, so if you're thinking of yourself as like, oh, we played 57.1% bridge tonight, like that's nonsense. And the amount of noise that's involved in that is plus or minus 5% at least, probably, as demonstrated by the great game that the Brants had in the common game. It just didn't score quite as well in the RBC. Yada, yada, yada. Other winners, Leo and Ken, Eileen and Renee, Marlon and Cindy, all won master points last night at the RBC, and congrats to them. Today we're going to talk about false cards, which is something I don't think we've spent too much time on before, and we'll do a little bit on how to calculate probability. Okay, and I'm going to try not to bore you incredibly with the math there. So let's go to a slide first. By the way, this is inspired by hand 3 from the RBC from last night, from the spade suit that got played on that hand. So now I should hit share screen and go to my PowerPoint. This is attempt number 3 at this video, so I'm getting a little bit frustrated. I keep on forgetting to share the right screen. Okay, so let's go to this PowerPoint and talk about false cards. False card situation. Let's say that the dummy has Jack 8 third and declare leads small from that towards his queen. And let's give you 10-9 third as fourth chair. You get 10-9 third behind that queen. You should definitely drop the 10 or the 9. I say definitely here. It's called a mandatory false card. There is zero downside and all upside in potentially tricking declare. More on that later. After declare's successful finesse of the queen, we should assume that our partner probably has the king, and we're trying to create the following illusion. The illusion is that after finessing, declare needs to lead the jack next if you had 10-9. Okay, so if you can convince declare that it's more likely that you have 10-9 doubleton, his correct play in this scenario on this slide is low to the queen, and then on the second round of the suit, he's going to lead the jack. That will pin your other high card, and it doesn't matter if East covers with the king or not. Declare will end up with all the tricks in that situation. Here's the reality. Okay, we've played the 10 from 10-9 third, and after finessing the queen successfully, declare goes back out to the dummy, just like in slide 1, right? Leads the jack, except, oops, this time the trick goes jack, king, ace. You slyly play the 4, and your 10 or 9 remaining is the master card in this suit now, okay? It's a trick from nowhere, from thin air. You created it completely on deception. Note that if you play the 4 from 10-9 4, declare is still missing the king, the 10, and the 9, and the only way to pick up the suit without any losers at this point is to lead the ace, which would drop your partner's king, and the jack is still in the dummy to cover your 10 or 9. We're going to do a little bit of probability math. You don't have to memorize this. Here's what the calculation the process that we'd follow. And this would be the thinking. Let's say we're faced with this exact problem. We need to be able to reason out what's more likely so that we can figure out how to play the suit. And the two scenarios that matter are if left-hand opponent has 10-9 doubleton. In that case, we would want to go back out to the dummy and lead the jack. Or if left-hand opponent has 10-9 third and is trying to Houdini her way into an undeserved trick, we need to bang down the ace next. There are other possibilities, like left-hand opponent could just have the singleton 9. But these two scenarios are the only ones where it matters what we do, and therefore we need to figure out what the relative probability of both two things is. How likely is the scenario where left-hand opponent has the 10-9 doubleton and played the 9? Let's talk quickly about bird's eye view of probability. Okay, this is the most important thing you'll ever figure out about probability, or know if you already know it. The probability of a series of things happening is the odds of each individual thing happening multiplied together. So if we're trying to figure out how likely it is that left-hand opponent has the 10-9 doubled, played the 9, the probability of the suit breaking 3-2, it's 2 and 3. When you're missing 5 cards, they break 3-2 2 out of 3 times. They break 4-1 1 out of 4 times. Ooh, looks like there's an easy way to remember that. The probability of left-hand opponent having the doubleton, given that the suit is 3-2, which is what we've already done in the first part there, it's 1 and 2, right? Left-hand opponent is equally as likely to have the 2-card holding as have the 3-card holding. The probability of left-hand opponent having the 10 as part of the doubleton is 2 and 5. She's got 2 open spaces. There's 5 missing cards. The chance that she'll get any one of those particular cards is 2 and 5. The probability of left-hand opponent having the 9, given that she has the 10, is 1 and 4. We've taken one of her 2 cards and given her the 10. What are the odds that her other 1 card will be the 9? 1 and 4. She's got 1 space left in her hand, and there's 4 cards to distribute. And the probability of left-hand opponent having played the 9 from 10-9 is 1 and 2. Okay, she could have equally likely played either card. Now that might not be completely true in practice, but like if you were playing against a robot who played bridge impeccably, like say the Gib robots in an individual tournament, they'll play the 9 equally as often as they'll play the 10 if they actually had 10-9 doubleton. Okay, and we just multiply all these things together. We get 1 out of 60. It's not important what that specific number is, although it might be worth just going through these and making sure you know where those numbers came from. All we need to do is compare that to how likely is it that left-hand opponent had 10-9 third. This one's trickier because this time we're going to have to judge how good our left-hand opponent is. So we still need the suit 3-2. This time we need left-hand opponent to have the 3-card suit. That's still 1 out of 2. We need left-hand opponent to have the 9. That's 3 out of 5 now because there's 5 missing cards and there's 3 cards in her holding. And the 10, after we distribute the 9, she's still got 2 spaces left. There's 4 spaces total. And a small card. After we give her the 9 and the 10, there is 1 space left in her hand. There's 2 small cards and a king. So the chance that the 3rd card is going to be a small card, 2 out of 3. And played the 9 instead of the 10. Okay, that's again 1 and 2. And now the probability you'll have to judge. The odds that left-hand opponent had the 10-9 third and knew this false card. So, dirty little secret. Against most of the people you will ever play bridge against, they don't know this false card. If Randy Joyce is sitting on your left, he knows this false card. Okay? And basically, people are going to fall on one end of those spectrums, right? They're either going to realize they can make this play or they're not. And again, 95% of people don't know this false card and aren't using it. You could put it into your game, though. I'll spare you the math, but here's your takeaways. If you think your left-hand opponent knows this bit of deception, i.e. you're playing against a super strong player, it's better to play her for 10-9 third and bang down the ace next. If you think your left-hand opponent isn't capable of executing this false card, doesn't know this one, couldn't play it in tempo, it's better to go out to the dummy and lead the jack next. And to wrap it all up, play the 9 from 10-9 third in described scenario. You might get a compliment from a really good player. To me, that's worth more than thousands and thousands of master points. Okay, to have somebody respect that I recognized the situation, was knowledgeable enough and clever enough to execute it. More generally, get your 9s and 10s on the table. If they don't seem to be doing you any good, you might be amazed at the illusion you can create. So to wrap up the video, we're going to go to a BBO screen. I'm going to share the screen with you this time because I really don't want to edit this video a 4th time. So let's go to a BBO screen. And now the important part, share screen, new share. Yay, I think we're doing the right thing now. So a lot of people played either a part score in spades or a game contract in spades on these hands. Before we get to the particular suit play, I think the most important thing I can say about this hand is let's actually focus on East here. So I totally agree with the South opening the hand one spade. I believe that's definitely in the family of aggressive openers that you want to be making. Reasons your queen is married to an ace. It's in a long suit. So basically you have your high cards and your long suits. You have aces. Aces are undervalued. You have the boss suit in spades. So you're already off to a competitive higher ground if you open one spade. So I'm a one spade opener. I realize not everyone in the field is opening this one spade. So let's go down two paths. And again, we're going to focus on East here. Let's look at the given auction where it went a spade past two clubs. Bidding two hearts with the East hand here is bridge suicide. Okay, it's not good enough to look at this hand and have your thought process be, this is lazy, guys. I have a good hand. I have five hearts. I heard that to bid a suit at the two level, you needed 10 points, right? Because you can always go to the director at the end and say, like, wait a minute, they couldn't have gotten 500 or 800 point penalty. I had 10 points. Okay, any excuse, I feel very comfortable saying, but I had 10 points. If that's ever part of the postmortem, you lose. The important thing here is there's an opening bid on your left and a 2/1 on your right. There's not going to be anything in the dummy. You're vulnerable. They're not. There's no need to bid here. They both know that they've got good hands. They can just penalize you, especially when your suit is crummy as ace jack 6-3-2. Don't bid two hearts on this hand, please, guys. There's no point, and the danger bells are just blaring at you. Okay, so we're not making bids because we had 5 cards and 10 points. We're making bids because they accomplish something. What in the world could two hearts be accomplishing here? It's not even necessarily the suit you want led. Okay, a two heart call would look something like king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 6 of hearts, and an outside ace, where you've got a bunch of tricks and you've definitely got a suit that you want led. I'll end the rant, but two hearts here is just, it's bridge suicide. Okay. Anyway, South ends up, well, our South here bid two spades. I think what South ought to really do is raise clubs. Okay, but they get the 4 spades. And at most tables, it went a heart to the ace and a heart back. Okay, this East actually played a club back. It doesn't change anything. And we used our first entry to the dummy to play a spade to the queen, low spade to the queen, not the jack. You are burning the power of the jack. You lead the jack here. And we cross back out to the dummy with a heart. And if you're playing against somebody who you don't think knows this false card, the right thing to do the next time is lead the jack to pin that 10. And notice here that it doesn't matter whether East covers or not. Okay, you just lead the jack. You're playing for West to have 10-9 doubleton. And in this particular scenario, you'll bring home the rest of the tricks. Okay, so that's the hand and the suit combination that prompted today's talk. If you think that your left-hand opponent is capable of this false card more than 50% of the time, it's actually right to play the ace next. Against most people, you should probably play them for 10-9 doubleton next. And as defender, now that you know this one, be on the lookout for 10-9 third and an opportunity to drop 10 or 9. If it works, if it succeeds in creating a false impression for Declare, and Declare doesn't think you're clever enough to know this, and you get away with one, you are going to feel fantastic. More fantasticer than any amount of master points could make you feel. I guarantee there's nothing better in bridge than making a nice play against a strong opponent who can appreciate what you did. I hope you guys have something fun planned for this weekend, and I will see you back on Monday. Thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to all the supporters here. Congrats to our winners from Thursday. I hope you have good bridge, and we will talk again on Monday morning. Later, guys.